should see my name and my contact information. I'm Felicia Knox, and I am one of the Information Services librarians for Rhodes College. In Information Services, I can be reached, and there's my email. 843-3903 is my direct desk number. But part of my duties also include sitting at our Barrett Help Desk and giving out information. So I can also be reached, or any of the members of Information Services can be reached through the help desk and by putting in a ticket request in the help desk portal. Underneath my contact information, you've got some quick links there. A lot of times people will think that the Rhodes Express page is not working if they click on a link at Rhodes Express, or sometimes you don't want to go through the Rhodes Express page and you want to just go directly to the system that you're trying to get to. And so Rhodes has created some short links, some quick links for you to take you to exactly what you need. And you can usually access that thing .rhodes.edu. So if you're trying to go to Rhodes Express, if you type in express.rhodes.edu, that takes you to the Rhodes Express page. If you go to mail.rhodes.edu, that takes you to the your email. Zoom.rhodes.edu, obviously for Zoom. And then I got some other ones on here, just some quick links that take you directly to what you're looking for, and you can bypass that Rhodes Express page if you want to at times. And then we've got an hour. I do have a lot of information to give to you, so I'm also going to be, of course, giving you my contact information, but also telling you how to make an appointment with myself and other librarians, because I know in this condensed space and amount of time, there's a lot of information to go through, and it may be a bit overwhelming at times. So I'm going to take this down, and I will put this back up at the end of our session in case you weren't able to screen capture that. So again, we should be looking at the Rhodes Express page. And during this session, I'm going to talk about some helpful things that are on the Rhodes Express page. I'm going to go over our Information Services website very much in detail with you as far as searching for books, journal articles, how to request information, how to request a meeting with a librarian. We're going to go over a feature called Zotero, which is a free online resource builder. It's a citation and reference builder. We'll talk about that and how to use that. Also in the chat, I've put a link to a box document that is a quick help Zotero guide. So if you want to go ahead and click on that and save that in your box folders, you can. Or you can contact me directly and I'll send you the direct Word document for that one. We'll talk about how to do some searches in some of the databases, what you have access to, how to narrow your search terms to get what you want or quite near what you want, how to capture those things into Zotero in order to build your references and your citations. And then if you have any questions along the way, just let me know. Or at the end, I can stop and we'll have a short question and answer session. Sound good? All right. Let's go ahead. So we're looking at the Rhodes Express page, and I'm sure you're all familiar with this page by now. You know that this page includes hot links to all of the systems that we use quite frequently here at the college, as well as in the center you have some highlights, some features of information that's going on, things going on around the school, things that concern Rhodes College and all of that. But what I really wanted to highlight on this page is the Rhodes service status section. So if you look over here on the right-hand side, you've got the Rhodes service status. And I know while we're here working remotely, we're all in different areas, some of us on campus, most of us are spread apart. We can feel sometimes disjointed or sometimes a little bit confused when things aren't working as we think they should. And so I think that this service status page is a great way to get some information before. I know myself, I'm a panicker. If I try to click on email and email's not working, I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I done? What's going on? So sometimes it's helpful to look at this Rhodes service status page to see what's going on with the systems that we use at Rhodes College. So if you click on here, you can see that of the 16 services highlighted on this page, they're all up and running. And you can scroll to take a look at the individual services. We see right now we've got full internet services. Our desktop services are working just fine. I sometimes will go to this page if I'm doing some work and I see that the link is not working quite like I think it should. Before I panic, I try to see if it's just a me issue or if it could be a college-wide issue. And this page is very helpful in learning that if it's a me issue or if it's a college-wide system issue that needs to be addressed through a help desk ticket or calling someone for help. So I just wanted to highlight that, and you can access that again on the Rhodes Express main page over here on the right-hand side. So if you're ever in doubt about something not working correctly, and you want to just check and see if it's just something that may be happening for your own person, or if it's a college-wide thing, you can always go to the service status page and check on that. Now we're going to go over here, and I want to highlight the library and the information services section of the Rhodes Express page. So if you click on the library link, you get information services at Barrett Library. This is where you find all of your information on contacting the help desk, meeting with a librarian, and starting your research. There are some things that we've added to this page for this special time. So I want to highlight that. If you look in the gray search bar right here at the top, you'll see that we've created a special research guide for COVID-19. During the pandemic, there are companies that are offering free services that are giving institutions trial runs of certain databases and services they offer. And that's going to be very helpful to you during this time. So here we've created a LibGuide that is updated regularly with that information for you. You get information on remote learning at Rhodes College, some of the things that we're doing, conducting research. Free scholarly resources is something that I think you might want to check out when you have some time or just scrolling through. You'll get extra things that aren't normally offered, but we're getting access to during this time. Also in that gray bar, we've added another link for remote learning at Rhodes College. Again, another helpful resource to help us feel more connected. We've got some guidelines for remote learning on this page. Information about Zoom. There's a Canvas student guide on this page as well. Information about conducting remote research. And again, some COVID resources that are very helpful during this time. So again, just something we've added again to help us feel more connected, to help us get some quick ways to get some quick answers to things that we may be looking for during this time. Do I have any questions at this point? Okay. So if we look at our information services page, if you look over to the right-hand side, you'll see some good information here. We've got the help desk number again, help@rhodes.edu, to make a point to put in a help desk ticket with some things that you need assistance with. And here's our meet with a librarian feature. I've given you my direct contact information, but if you click on meet with a librarian, you have an opportunity to schedule a direct appointment with any of our librarians here on campus, and that's for your technology and your research needs. You can click on a name, you'll see their calendar availability, and you can select a time, and that will send us an email saying that someone is requesting an appointment with us. We can contact you to provide a Zoom link, a telephone call time, or whatever will be best for our session. So please do take advantage of that Meet with a Librarian feature. Again, we want to make sure you know that you're supported and you have people out here that are waiting and willing to help you with whatever your needs are during this time. You can also make an interlibrary loan request through the website. It's important to know at this time, interlibrary loan, we have an awesome interlibrary loan librarian, Keenan Paget, and she's a special kind of magician to get you what you need for your research. But it's important to know that during this time, there are some complications with interlibrary loans, so there are not any print physical items being loaned at this time. That's because, different libraries are now adopting different policies. Some libraries may be closed. The Postal Service is also dependent upon we also depend upon that for interlibrary loans. So there are a few complications with physical items, but if there are resources that can be gained electronically, like articles, possibly ebooks, and she's able to access those, ask her and she can put in a search for those type of items. Also on the left-hand side, you've got information about box, our research and subject guides dependent upon major, and some pictures of our lovely librarians here. But you've got research guides for different majors that you can go to that highlight specific databases, journals, research for your specific subject area. You might want to glance through those when you have time. Installing Microsoft Office is on here, and some information about Workday, which is not going to be pertinent at this moment, but later on as we delve deeper into that. Any questions? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at this search bar here. This is your main search bar to conduct your research. You can search for books, journals, if you know the specific journal article, journal title. You can search through our extensive database collection. You can also search through the archives to find historical information about Rhodes College, about a person, about the city of Memphis through our archives. I'm going to start with the book tab. And if you're searching for books, you'll just click here. I'm going to use influenza as my search today because we're coming up on flu season, which flu shot. That's just extra tidbit. But we're coming up on flu season, so I'm going to search for influenza. So if I type in influenza and do a search, this is what our catalog is going to look like. I want to make sure, especially since we know that print materials aren't really being loaned out right now, we want to make sure to click for Rhodes Library on the left-hand side. And we also want to make sure that we're looking for a book. We want to click ebook. This is going to give you the best bang for your buck right now while searching for books during this time. And this lets you know what's held by us and what's an ebook that is readily accessible. And as you can see, if you scroll through this page, you'll see the different ebooks that we have access to on the subject of influenza. And if you want to view something, you would just click on View ebook. That will take you directly to your ebook. And here in your table of contents, you should be able to click and get your book information. And so that's searching for a book in our catalog. You can do the same thing with journal titles. If you know the specific journal title that you're looking for, you can type it in and search for that. Again, you can search our archives. We have an extensive archive collection maintained by our Associate Director and Archivist. which gives lots of helpful information. And right now we are receiving several requests from across the country because of Amy Coney Barrett, the nominee for the Supreme Court. So we're getting a lot of archival requests. They want to know about her time at Rhodes, her classes, what was she like, her extracurricular activities, and those are all found in our archives. What we're really going to focus on today is the databases tab. This again is going to give you the best bang for your buck when doing some research. And we've got our databases that if you search through the tab, if you know the title of the database, you can type it in the search bar. But what I really like to do is just click on this tab that says all databases. And we list our databases here from A through Z. You can either scroll through the list or you can click on the first letter of the title of your database. I also want to highlight on the right side of this page any new or trial databases that we've got access to. You can find here on the side. This is also something that I would want to look at from time to time because while we've acquired some new things like films on demand, we also have a trial base to some databases that, you know, if they're popular, if people think that this is really going to help them in their subject area, it's possible that we could acquire some of these databases to add to our collection. So in your research, we've got what we own here. We've got some new things, and it will say new off to the side, like the films on demand. And then we have some things that are given to us for a trial period. Check those out if you have time as well, because that trial could become a new database that we've acquired. So searching in the databases, I also want to remind you that you have access to some local newspapers and you have access to some very popular newspapers. We have the Daily Memphian, and I believe we are the first institutional account for the Daily Memphian. They don't normally have institutional accounts, and we were very convincing as to our need and our usage, and so we're able to negotiate a rate for that. So you have access to the Daily Memphian. You have access to the Memphis newspaper, the Commercial Appeal. Commercial Appeal is taking a little time to load up. Here we go. So we've got access to the Commercial Appeal. You can search in the main search bar for a specific event, topic, or name, or you can scroll down here and browse by date, click on calendar dates. You can change the year to search. And as you can see, looking at some of these databases, they're not all going to look the same. They are going to be different. A lot of them will have some of the same features as selecting dates and subject ranges to narrow down your searches, but they are going to look a little different. So that was Commercial Appeal and the Daily Memphian. We have access to the Wall Street Journal through our Proquest database. And see again, you can search the publication through the main search bar, or you can use some of these categories to limit your search if you would like to, and to view the specific issue that you've searched. And you also have access to the New York Times. Now for the New York Times, you can create an account using your Rhodes email address. And as long as you have your Rhodes credentials, you'll have free access to the New York Times. So if we click on there, it is going to start with the instructions on how to create your account in order to gain access to the New York Times. So those are very popular publications that we have in our database collection. And we get a lot of questions about access to those. So you do have access to that. And then again, you've got all of these different databases here that are in our collection as well. Something else that I would like to note is for Google Scholar. We're almost midway through the semester, so If you haven't heard about desktops.rhodes.edu by now, that is a good resource for searching. When you go to desktops.rhodes.edu, it makes your computer, your laptop, or your desktop computer at home perform as if you are on a Rhodes virtual machine. So desktops.rhodes.edu, you are able to download the client and create a shortcut on your desktop. And I would recommend when you're doing research, use that desktops.rhodes.edu because again, it will perform like you're on campus. There's less of a chance for you to come across a paywall or any blocked features when you do that. If you're not going through desktops.rhodes.edu, just make sure you're going through the Express page to the library page when you are looking through databases and things. And I mentioned that with Google Scholar because if you just open up your laptop and you go to Google Scholar on your own, it's going to pull up just fine. But if you do the same thing going through our database, we filter out what we have as opposed to what we don't have. So if you were to do a Google search on your own without going through the Rhodes Express page to the library or without doing desktops.rhodes.edu, you're going to see all of this, but you don't really know what we have or what we don't have. And that can slow down your research. So in order to speed it up, if you use the features that we've provided for you, you can automatically tell, okay, we've got access to this through Rhodes College, we've got access to this. I don't see any link out here to the side, so I don't have access to this. So there's no need to look at that material right there. So this is just a little helpful hint while you're searching, especially for using Google Scholar. It's important to go through Rhodes Express and the library page, or to use desktops.rhodes.edu so it performs like you're on campus to give you, again, to maximize your research and your searching potential. Any questions? Okay. Well, I'm going to show you how to do a search in one of our databases. Like you've seen with me clicking on a couple of things, they all look relatively different, but a lot of them are going to have some of the same features. So I am going to use a very popular database today called Proquest Central. And this is a general database that has a lot of information about lots of different subjects, not really too specific, so that's why it's very popular among people. So I'm going to use Proquest Central, and I'm going to do a search for influenza. And while I'm searching, I'm not going to use a Boolean search at this time. I'm going to leave this blank. While I'm searching, I do want to make sure to click full text because you want the full article, not just an abstract. And I also want to make sure to click peer reviewed. When you're searching for, your professors, I'm sure, have mentioned peer-reviewed articles. When you're searching for a peer review, that simply means that that publication has gone through an official editorial process that deems this, whatever that material is, appropriate for research, appropriate for information gathering. And in ProQuest Central, they actually give you a definition of what peer-reviewed is. It's not going to be in every database, but it is in ProQuest Central. So once I type in my search term and I type in full text and peer-reviewed, I want to go to search and see what pulls up. So I get over 114,000 results. That can be overwhelming. You can scroll through that if you like. But if you look over here on the left-hand side, you can see that I've got full text, I've got peer review, but then this breaks down your search and tells you how many of those search results are scholarly journals, how many of those are magazines. You can also see the publication date. Right now it says 1844 to 2021. We can narrow that down by clicking and dragging on the date. Move that up a little bit, and on here we'll click update. There are some databases that as soon as you move that slide scale on the date, it automatically updates. For Proquest Central, you've got to click on update. So it took our 114,000 to 109,000. And so you have options over here where you can choose a publication title. You can choose a certain document type. You can choose a specific subject area within the main search of influenza, and so on and so forth to scroll through here. I can do this on this page, or if I want to go back to my advanced search, I can start from here. I want influenza, and let's talk about the influenza vaccine. I type in influenza and vaccine. And again, I want full text. I want peer review. And I'm going to search. Narrowing that down or adding something to it took that from 114 down to 52,000, over 52,000 results. And again, I can come over here and see how many of those are scholarly journals and so forth. I can also narrow my dates down again and click update. And that went from the 52 to 51, not so much, but narrowed it down just enough. And then I can begin searching through the database for my articles. And let's see, if I decide that, this is something that I want to look at, I can click on this article. And there you have your full text article. It includes any charts, any graphs that are in there. It also includes the reference. Includes your references and all of those things. In Proquest Central, as you can see, the author information is highlighted. This is another way to find resources. You can click on that particular author and see what other things they've produced in that subject area that may be useful for you. I would also consider looking at what the references look like. You might find some things in the references of an article that will make you go back and look for more things. So I would say maximize your research by not just looking at the singular article, but there are several things within that article that will help you get more references, more research. Again, clicking in Proquest Central, all of the databases aren't going to have the authors highlighted. This one does in particular. Also has the publication highlighted. You can click on that to further your research. Again, you can go to the references used to create something and find more information for your research. And then it would be at this point that you would want to capture your items into Zotero. Before I talk about Zotero, do we have any questions about searching through the databases, searching for books, searching for articles, how to navigate within one of the databases? Any questions about those things? And I think one of my coworkers, Rashana Wright, is our other information services librarian. I think she is monitoring the chat for me in case someone is putting items in the chat. So any questions about research, how to look through our databases, how to contact a librarian, where to go to make an appointment, any of those things, just shout. Okay. So the last thing that I'm going to talk about today is Zotero. Zotero is a free open source resource that belongs to you. It's not connected to the Rhodes system, so anything that you put in Zotero is yours to keep for as long as you have your account. You can create a free account with Zotero. And again, inside of the chat, I've given you a quick start guide to help you get started with Zotero. And if you have any questions in depth and you want to know a little bit more, feel free to contact me or again meet with another librarian on that feature on the website to have a one-on-one session. But in Zotero, you can keep your research organized. You can create citations and bibliographies in all styles. It allows you to save citations for books, articles, and web pages. Take notes. You can create tabs. You can attach PDFs directly to citations. You can sync your library on any computer that you go to. You can create your bibliography formatted in any citation style automatically. I wish I had that when I was in graduate school. I was a space counter and a period counter. But Zotero does all of that for you. You can also share your research with a partner when using Zotero. And I think one of the most important things that I like about Zotero is it provides a focus for your research. So many times we are focused on we're searching for the article, where is it? And we lose things, we click out of tabs. Zotero allows you to capture articles and things right away so that it's in one place for you. You spend less time reading and evaluating these things and more energy on actually focusing on the things that are relevant to you. That quick start guide gives you steps on how to download the connector, how to get started with going to Zotero and creating your account. You do have to download the Zotero connector and the extension for whatever web browser you want to use. If it's Chrome, there's an extension for Chrome, for Edge, for Safari. You'll do that. And once you do, and you've got Zotero open, I have a pretty extensive library in Zotero since I've been using it for a little while. And then you should have a little icon that shows up in your next to your search bar. Zotero adapts to look like whatever it is you're searching for. Zotero can look like a web page icon. It changes to look like a little book. If you're searching for books, Zotero can change. Looks like this little sheet of paper because I'm looking at this journal article. And if I wanted this journal article, I would just click on this little connector and it will save to my library. I can save it to my library and I click done. And then once I look at my library, I should see cross protection. It saved that article in my library and it saves things in alphabetical order for you. You can create different folders for different classes. So classes that I have worked with professors on, you can create groups in Zotero. There are so many wonderful features in this resource for you that enable you to get what you need and organize your research so that you can maximize your time while you're doing research. I recommend it highly. We also want to recommend that you use Box to store items in instead of saving items on your desktop or saving them on your computer in your documents on your computer. We would recommend that you get familiar with Box. You can share items in Box, share links like I shared the Zotero worksheet for you. You can share links in Box like that. And you can open up Box on any computer. It's just like a Google Drive or Dropbox. And as long as you have your Rhodes credentials, you have free unlimited storage to Box to put your things in. So Zotero and Box are two resources that if you haven't by now, I would really take some time to look at and do some research in. Any questions about that so far? Okay. Again, I know that we've gone over a lot of information in a short amount of time. What I really want to take some time to do during this moment is to make sure you know that you are well supported By information services, we want to make sure that while we're working remotely, we still feel connected in some way, and you know that you have people out here that are open and willing to help and provide the information that you need to get you your resources. If you're ever having a question or difficulty accessing something, it is no problem to contact one of the librarians or information professionals through our help desk system, and we will get right back to you with whatever it is that you need. And I am going to share one more time and put my contact information back up on the screen so that you know exactly how to contact me and you have access to any of those quick links. Thank you, Jose. Thank you. And again, it's all about support. I want to make sure that you guys know we're here, we're willing, we are eager to get you the things that you need. And I think we've gone a little short today. I thought there might be some more questions that people have, but if you don't have any questions, again, you have my contact information. You know how to contact us through the help desk. You also know how to use the Meet with the Librarian feature to get some one-on-one help. And if there aren't any more questions, I think that I will let you all go at this time. You are very welcome. The free storage, yes, please use the free storage while you have access. And even when you're getting ready to graduate, information services send notices to all of our graduating seniors and instructions on how to transfer your email and other things to another system that you can take with you afterwards.
Thank you, Felicia. Great job. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jose.
Thanks to
And
everyone joining.
thank you. And so I guess I will let us go.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.